guess I'll just let that melt. Oh my, what the, what the, oh my, what the, oh my goodness, oh my plants, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Howdy y'all, it was cold in sunny SoCal the other day. A couple inches of hailstones, which is totally unusual around here. Very interesting though. Looked like it had snowed even though it was actually just a bunch of little balls. The icy blanket was so thick it actually didn't even thaw until the next day around 2 o'clock. It was totally wild. This was, to my knowledge, Panda's first encounter with this much hail, and he barely seemed to notice it all and left some cute little footprints for me. And what better time to do a little bit of repotting than in the midst of our global climate collapse. I decided to start off with my beautiful Malva arborea, also known as the tree mallow. This is a plant I've been growing as a bonsai for about a year now. It's starting to develop some nice semi-hardwood on some of the branches. Still got some green on the lesser branches and a nice, well, not thick, but a nice woody trunk. I was getting a smidge concerned for this guy because after all the wet weather lately, the leaves had started to curl a touch, which could indicate some root rot, and these brown roots are even more of an indication of that. So I decided to give it a little repot using the general rule of thumb, couple inches on the side, about twice as deep, and I'm hoping that with the addition of a bit of root fertilizer, this guy will bounce back and hopefully those leaves shall return to their nice crisp shape. After that I went for my Asclepias curasavica tropical milkweed, which is a plant that I grew from a cutting at a job that I worked at last. This one had a real long stalk that I clipped back. Again, I'm trying to bonsai this one. It's got some hardwood and as you can see some little sprouts coming off that'll hopefully become new branches. Had this one in a real sandy mix, which I'm probably going to maintain. This one was real bound up in its pot, but it's got lots of healthy root mass as opposed to the Malva arborea. So I'm probably going to clip these just a touch and wash them out so that all that soil, the old soil which has been devoid of nutrients, can be replaced with some fresh, nice, boosted soil. In classic bonsai style, I'm going to try to expose some of those thicker upper roots, and then over time just kind of keep those spreading out so that it'll look like a tiny tree rather than a little shrub. Now to bonsai a plant is a years long process oftentimes, so got a really small little root crown there that hopefully I will be able to expand over time, take up more of the pot. Here's a little before and after. You can see how I've raised it up a touch. Now for just a few random little propagations I've been working on. This I believe is some sort of variegated pothos, but I'll have to do a touch more research before I can positively identify it. It's got a nice little bit of root mass there, so I'm going to pot this guy up on its own and grow it for size. Here you can see the original connection point where it was bound to the mother plant. Nice little angular slice that I made there to separate the plant off with the roots coming out from the other side. Up next I had a nice simple liriope, which is a variety of grass. They prefer the shade and they put off these nice little flowers. This one also had some nice root mass going on, so I was going to pot this one on its own as well, again growing for size, and hopefully I'll get some flowers this year. I also got this lovely little Stupus Czech heirloom tomato. Don't know if that's how you say it, but it's a cherry variety making about 2-ounce tomatoes, very cold hardy. So I'm going to pot this one on its own, about a gallon-sized container, so the roots can spread and fill, and then all that nutritious soil can go towards making these little sprouts bloom. I can get lots of branches. And I'm probably going to clip most of these little flower buds off so that the plant devotes more of its energy towards vegetative growth, so I can get a nice big plant before all the blooms set. And last but certainly not least, we have my Purpalicious tulbagia, which is a relative of garlic and onions and the like. It's got some nice long thick roots it's developed over time. Started off in water and stuck it in soil to develop, and it is well developed now. So I'm going to put this guy in its own pot. Nice double-headed one there, and eventually these will each become their own individual plants that I can separate and then propagate even further. Beautiful purple lines in there. thus the purplicious